Hey everyone, welcome back to another exciting episode of Entacom Productions. Fluf here. Yeah, see this is going so well already. Fluff here, coming back at you with another deck profile. Actually, my first deck profile for set 12. But before we get into that, in Jimmy's Weiss profile, Bancroft and Jimmy were discussing pronunciation, and I just wanted to take this opportunity to tell all y'all out there that us from Kentucky, we talk good. Like, everyone knows that this is pronounced Spatial transmission. Like, I don't know why they couldn't. It's Spatial. Like, I don't know. I don't get it. I promise Kentuckians can talk real good. But today we've got the blue Janemba deck profile from set 12. I wanted to build it with the set leader. I'm sure there are other leaders that suffice just as well for this, but being, set 12 is just now coming out, I wanted to kind of highlight it. So on the front side, Janemba auto, add one card from your life to your hand. When this card attacks, choose one blue evil incarnate or demon card with an energy cost of 2 or less in your hand and play it. So this can be the 1-drop Psyche Demon, it can be the 2-drop combo attack Janemba, it can be the skillless 2-drop. Then once we're at 4 life or less, we get to draw 2 cards, flip the card over. On the backside, we have Janemba, Demonic Dynasty. When this card attacks, draw 1 card. Then we get Activate Main once per turn for blue energy. Place 1 card from your life into your drop area. Play 1 blue Evil Incarnate card with an energy cost of 2 from your energy. So we don't want to use this until much later in the game. We're not going to turn the rest of our deck off by doing it. So usually after turn 4, it's safe to use this effect. But until then, we won't use it. So that's the leader. Should be all good. Getting into the meat of the deck, I do play 3 of the 1-drop Psyche Demon rocking out. So typically on this card, we are going to cast him for 1 or play him off the leader's effect, keeping an energy open. But then we get to look at the top 7 and add an evil incarnate or demon, or we get to add 1 Janemba among them and add them to our hand. Alternatively, if we had placed a Janemba at the bottom of our deck and we knew there was a Janemba there, we could use the bottom effect to add that card back to our hand, though that's usually not going to come up. So we do run 3 of those because that's generally all we need. Then we're going to run 4 of the 2-drop Janemba and 2 of the 3-drop Janemba. The 3-drop Janembas we are primarily going to use to go up our chain and on our 5-star dark or parasitic drag. We'll get to it. I don't know the name off the top of my head. We're basically going to use that for that. The 2-drop skillless is going to let us use the leader skill, and it's also going to be another way for us to get a card on the field. We can typically play from our energy on this. So usually turn one, I like to charge one of those Genevas. So we run 6 of the total skillless. Then I do run 3 of the combo attack Genimbas. These guys, for burst 2, activate main, you get to return a demon or evil incarnate card from your field back to your hand. Play this guy and you get to take up to 2 of your life and add them to hand. So if someone's trying to play slow against you, you get to use this guy to awaken again. It's actually really good. It's really awesome when you get to pop back these Psyche Demon. So Psyche Demon on field, play combo attack Janemba, get your Psyche Demon back to be able to play it again for another search. It really helps find all the pieces for your stuff. So 3 of those. Then we do run 4 of the Janemba Bewitching Blow here. This is the new 3-drop from the set. This basically lets us return a skillless battle card with an energy cost of 2 or 3 back to hand to play this guy, though at the cost of end of the turn he'll warp again. But usually we're going to use this to also use the negative energy ball to play out the Janemba Zeno chain. And this is free to play. So it's a free 19,000 crit dual attack, which is really nice. It's a ton of pressure. If we can get into this guy, we're going to do it. So if you've got the 2-drop Janemba on the field and you go in, so if you've got the 2-drop Janemba that you've played with leader skill or you've put out through other means, you can use this Janemba, bring it back, play this out, and then you get to go off of your negative energy ball from there. So it's kind of a complicated chain, but I will go through the whole chain as I get finished with everything. Then we've got the Janemba Dark Parasite. This guy is played off of the 5-star negative energy ball. He is a critical. When he attacks, your opponent either has to warp a card on their side of the field. If they choose to not do that, we get to draw and restand 1 energy, which is incredible. He is, again, a 20,000 crit, so more pressure on your opponent. They don't want to take criticals, so they're going to combo out of these. And then from him, we can go into the Janemba Rampaging Demon. I run him at a 3 of as well. He's an EX Evolve for 1, crit, dual attack, 25,000. When you EX Evolve in him, he gets to restand and you draw 2 cards. So it's another way to refill our hand after we've been going through the chain, but we do run 3 of those. Then kind of skillless tutors. I do run 3 of the Chilled from Draft Box 3. Basically, when he deals damage or removes a marker from a unison, you can pay 1 energy to play a blue skillless with a battle card or with an energy cost of 3 or less from your deck or drop area. You can also play the Chilled for free by discarding a skillless. So having a skillless in hand plus the Chilled is oftentimes pretty useful, and this is going to be one of our main combo starters. Another main combo starter is going to be Son Goku Nimbus Master. When you combo during your opponent's turn with this card, you get to play out a skillless battle card with an energy cost of 2 or less. So he doesn't get to grab the 3-drop Janemba, which is one of the reasons that we don't run more of the 3 skillless, just because he's a little bit more fickle to get out, if you will. But these 2 will get our skillless unfilled, which basically set up the engine. So I'll go through that at the end of the video. We'll just say that. Then I do run 4 of the Vegeta Super Combos. These let us control and dig for pieces that we need. If we have the Dark Parasite Janemba in hand, he doesn't really do us a lot in hand because we're going to play him off the ball, which can play him from the deck. So it's a perfect bottom deck target for this card. But just hand manipulation and having the right cards at the right time is really important in this because it is a big combo deck. Then we do run 1 of the SS3 Son Goku Man on a mission. This is just in-game pressure. If you've got your opponent down, there are 1 or 2 cards in hand. You may overwhelm into this swing and combo up a little bit to try to seal the game out after you've gone through your whole chain. So 1 of those. Then kind of battle manipulators. I do run 3 of the Ultra Instinct Goku's Kamehameha, and I do run 2 Furthering Destruction Champa. The Champas are for double striking crit on the leader or trying to get rid of a unison that might be kind of pesky. The Ultra Instinct Goku's Kamehameha is another way to filter through our deck. It gets us searches, but it's also defensive. This deck is kind of glass cannony and doesn't really like a lot of onslaught. We don't run a ton of negates. We don't even run a unison package. So having that extra defense with the free energy restand after using it is really valuable. And just after testing unisons plus or this, I've figured that this was better than trying to run Zenos or Trunks. Then we run 3 Senzu Bean. The deck already does a lot of energy restanding by way of the Dark Parasite effect if your opponent chooses to let that go off. But we do have this if we want to extend our plays or provide a little bit of defense on the opponent's side. And then kind of standard in blue would be Dimension Magic. There's not really a good option in Genimba for dealing with the silver bullets for blue out of draft box 6, but we do run those, and usually the deck is aggressive enough that we're not dead by the time that we get to go off. So these just kind of ensure that we get there, even if it's at the cost of having to warp a card or 2 or discard a card or 2. Then kind of the last negate is Baby Hatch, best blue secret rare in the game. Pycon is an option in this deck, but I think that you want to try to close the game by turn 3 or turn 4, and spending 4 energy on turn 4 to throw out Pycon is not always fantastic, but being able to survive an aggressive opponent through means of Baby Hatch is probably more useful. Plus, by the time you've gone through your chain, your opponent's tried to pressure you, you negate with Baby Hatch. A swing with a 40 strike with a 40,000 and then pop a chomp on it is oftentimes enough to end a match. So we've got that. Then we do run, finally, 4 of the 5-star ball parasitic darkness. So these guys will actually let us send a Janemba with an energy cost of 3, or we get to use an energy cost of 3 Janemba to pull out a Janemba Zeno from the deck or hand, which is why I was saying about the Vegeta. So kind of talking about the general overall chain of the deck. If you are on your if you are on the front side lead and you attack, you get to play out your Psyche Demon. Your Psyche Demon is going to get your search. You can pick the Psyche Demon up, play out the combo attack Genimba. So that is one way to start that, and then you get to play out your Psyche Demon again to find another combo piece. But then once we're able to establish a skillless, whether it be through Chilled or Nimbus Master or the Goku Nimbus Master, we've got our skillless on field. We can then, attack with this, return it back to hand to play Bewitching Blow. Once Bewitching Blow is on the field, we get 2 attacks out of that. So just kind of keep track here. So 1 leader, 2 Chilled, 3 Bewitching, or off the Chilled, we could grab the 3. So that's 3 attacks. And then we go into this. This is another 2. That's 5. We would then use this and use the Xeno, or use the ball on him. So the ball is going to let us play out the 4-drop Dark Parasite. This is another. This is 6. And then we would EX evolve 7, 8 attacks for what essentially amounts to 2 energy. Then if we're able to reestablish another chain, we can attack more. So very easily on turn 3, you're able to spit out 8 attacks. If you're able to establish 2 chains, like maybe you've been able to use Nimbus Master or something like that, you're able to get out more, probably 9, 10 attacks per turn. And then if you have a baby hatch, just add on to that. I mean, the sheer aggro that this deck has, Blue's never really had anything that was quite this aggressive before. It's a ton of fun to play. It's a little fickle. It really struggles against hand control, even though it does draw a ton and it is fairly defensive. But give it a shot. Hopefully my ramblings made a little bit of sense. Hopefully it wasn't too terrible. But I hope you guys enjoyed. If you do, hit those buttons. I think it's a fetish on the channel now or something. I haven't really kept up with all that talk. But thank you so much for watching. As always, read your cards, know your place. Love out.